Welcome. My name is Joseph Anderson, and this is RM University's 90-day Jumpstart program. Today we're going to talk about talents. Now, if you were like many of the Mormon kids growing up, there's odds are that your parents forced you into piano lessons or what other musical instrument that you could imagine because they wanted you to learn how to play the piano. Now, some of you stuck with that. Some of you stuck with the forcing and the let's go with the word encouraging. You know, the parents were trying to do the best, and you stuck with it, and now you might be a very good pianist. And that's probably given you other opportunities in your life. I mean, maybe there's one day you were playing at a concert or something, and you know, some girl or some other individual saw you and really wanted to connect with you as a result. I believe very strongly that our talents, they allow people to connect with us. They make us unique. I mean, there's certain talents that I have that other people don't have. And there's certain, like vice versa, there's certain talents other people have that I don't. Now, granted, we generally connect with people that we're very like. Now, you don't have to be exactly like someone to connect with them, but a lot of times we do. So I want to ask you, what are the talents that you've developed in your life? Another thought that occurs to me is as we develop our talents, we're really developing self-mastery. I mean, to develop a talent is not easy. You know, for somebody to become a concert pianist, for example, it requires dedication and hours and hours and hours of practice. Not just for a day, not just for a month, not just for a year, but for years. And so, what talents do you want to create in your life? You know, I think back to the Bible, the example of the talents. You know, here, and I'm sure you're all familiar with the story, so I'm not going to read it. But essentially, you know, one person was given 5 talents, another was given 4, and another was given 1. And the person with 5 went out and doubled their talents. The person with 4 went out and doubled their talents. And the last person's like, hey, you only gave me 1 talent, and I had to hide it, I had to keep it safe. You know, and it's amazing as you think about that, because there's so much that we can do with our lives. And the people that are given more natural talent and ability per se, the more that we're going to be required of when we come face to face with God and He asks us what we did with our talents. Now, at the same time, I believe that there's a great book, and it's called Talent is Overrated. You know, a lot of times people are like, oh, you're naturally talented. No. I actually used to think that about NBA basketball players. I used to think that they were just incredibly gifted and talented, and they just came out like that. And you know, needless to say, I was pretty jaded. They didn't. They spent hours and hours and hours and hours practicing and honing that skill. Hours while their friends were out at parties. Hours while their friends were, you know, watching cartoons. Hours while their friends were playing Xbox. They spent dedicated time. Now, if you had a talent that you developed over your life, congratulations. And if you haven't, if you don't feel there's anything you're really talented at, look closer. There's definitely areas of your life that you're more talented than others, but also use this as a wake-up call. If you just got back from your mission, you've got, you know, maybe 70 or 80 years left on this earth. I don't know exactly how many you have left, but you can use that for your kind of a guideline. What do you want to do? What do you want to develop? What talent that at the end of your life, if you had created, you would feel like, wow, that's amazing that I accomplished that. What's a skill that you want to learn? What's a musical instrument you want to play? Do you want to learn how to draw? Do you want to learn how to do some other form of art? What do you want to do? Do you want to develop better skill at a sport? I know with myself, I didn't have much of a work ethic before I left for my mission. And then when I got back, I developed the skill to play adequately almost every sport there is. Because I decided that it was important to me. So what talents are important for you to create? What skills are important for you to develop? You know, as it says in Alma 34:24, that we learn that, Alma 34:32 through 34, and we learn that it's this life that we have the opportunity to create our lives. You know, and I think back, there's a phenomenal YouTube video, it's called Creation by Dieter F. Uchtdorf. And if you look at that, he talks about creation and how excited we are to create. There's such an amazing power that comes from creation. It's almost like we're creating You know, for those of you that have children, it's almost like that. It's like when you create something, it becomes a part of you. And it becomes something that you protect. It becomes something that you hold on to. So what talents do you want to create? I want you to write that down. What's that talent that's been in the back of your mind for a really, really long time that you haven't fully developed? I know there are a few talents for myself that I really wanted to develop and I hadn't worked on them, and I had all the tools necessary and just didn't do it. I set a specific goal to work on those for 15 minutes a day. Remember, by the small and simple things are great things brought to pass. And as I did that, it's amazing how much better and better and better I got. Now, have I become a concert, guitarist or singer? Well, not exactly. But I'm much, much further along than I would have been had I not taken that 15 minutes a day. And it's something I continuously do to this day. Now, I want to encourage you, first of all, decide something you want to focus on, and then, for the next week, I want to challenge you to spend 15 minutes focusing on that. And no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, 15 minutes, no matter what, for the next week. And I want you to see the difference that makes in your life. And also, depending on the habit, you can definitely cut Sunday out of that. I know some habits don't exactly coincide with what we do on Sundays. So, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of RM University. And look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day.